world tallest person in that area. And that's what you're walking away with. Today, you walked into this class, you cannot go out the same. It's impossible. I know some of you might come out better, others might come out better, but you can't be the same. I can guarantee you won't be the same. I don't know whether you'll be worse or you'll be better. Some of you will be very annoyed with yourself and feel bad that life has treated you so badly, and therefore go really, really wild and deal with, make sure that that doesn't happen with your children. Others will go so complacent and say, why? You mean this is true? And go and experiment with it. Is that experimentation and exploration that will bring out that which was buried in you by circumstances, or buried in you by ignorance, or buried worse by misinformation? Most people are not ignorant, most people are misinformed. And that is a bigger trouble. And that's a stronger headache. Because if you have no information at all, you want to go and get it. If you have some form of information, you're complacent. You think you already have the information, only for you to find out, oh, I've head on to a lie, or I've head on to something that is subnormal. Like some of you come in there and believe that you are not mathematicians, right? How many of you, when you were applying to university places, you were looking for courses that did not require credit in maths? Put up your hand. Yes? Because somebody has sold you a lie. Somebody gave you a piece of paper and said, that's a certificate. And each time I tell people about this, oh, don't you, what's this man saying? He just thinks every child is a genius. Everybody is great. Wait until you see my daughter. My daughter is so dopey, she took after my mom, or she took after her mom. And I tell them, wait until your daughter sees me, and I have an interaction with your daughter for 6 consecutive weeks, 2 hours at a time, and see whether your daughter will not realize that she's living a lie and express her genius in ways that you never imagined. Because the piece of paper you have saying that you didn't get credit in maths is dated, has a date on it. It says the date you wrote the exam. Ladies and gentlemen, that description of you expired on that date. Every certificate is dated. Do you know why? Who can guess why?
Because you've acquired new knowledge since that time.
Yes. Every single exam you take is at a point in time. So it's dated. If it's June 1977, it's dated June 1977. You mean June 19? 1 year later, you could go and write that exam again and your grade will go up. Is that true? Yes. So why are you now defining a piece of paper? An opinion of somebody is now reforming your entire life. When you could have written that exam again with better preparation, with a different orientation, and get a totally different grade, and therefore go and pursue a totally different career. Why would you say, oh, in my family we are very weak at learning languages? We can't learn languages. Let me tell you that. If you ever say that you're weak at learning language, let me tell you the truth about language. One human cell was taken, they saved the whole vocabulary of German on it. And the entire dictionary, bilingual of German, took one cell. Then they saved French on it, it took it. Then they saved Mandarin on it, it took it. Then they saved Hebrew, only one cell. They saved 15 different mutually exclusive languages on one neuron. One neuron. So one cell in your brain can learn 15 different languages. One cell. Are you listening to what I'm telling you? Yes. So if you told me that you cannot learn Russian because Russian is a different language, it's because your Russian teacher lied to you. Or because your English teacher told you, no, Russian is difficult. Learn English. Every single child you see in Ukraine that was born in Ukraine, exposed to the first language of Ukraine, whether the person is Yoruba, you can ask Pearl. Most of you have seen Pearl. Have you seen Pearl? Yeah. Have you seen Pearl Adelaja? Yes. Do you hear how she speaks Russian? Yes. And she thinks English can be a strange language? Because her primary mode of communication is in Russian, and then she's bilingual English. Have you seen her? Yes. Okay. Interact with her and say what I'm trying to say to you. It is very, very easy for you to pick up new languages every single month. based on your interests and based on your perspective.
The last time I spoke with her, she was studying Japanese.
Amen. Amen. That's right. That's it. She's a member of the human race. She has to, because she's interacted with my daughter. She visited us in London, and she's seen my boy, my girl. She's seen all of them, and they sat in the same room. She knows that they are not smarter than her because they make mistakes. They all go to eat the same food. They drink the same water. So she has to be able to speak more languages than her teacher tells her in school. Because the teacher is not the sole custodian of knowledge. The teacher is only a subject specialist. A subject specialist can tell you about their subject. They cannot tell you about everything about yourself. So if you have children, encourage them to speak more languages. If you have a LinkedIn page, please try and make it bilingual. If you want to step it up, make it bilingual. You can translate your CV from English to German and from English to French and then French to Russian and put it up on a page and see what the UN will do to you. Because UN is looking for bilingual people that have skills. If you're a professional and you can express that professional or your skills or your professional knowledge in a different language, you become a prime target of the United Nations. You can't hide. I'm sorry. If you can speak more than 2 or 3 languages and you are visible, you get the United Nations job on top of the job you are currently doing. Can you see why I told you earlier that you lose $10,000 a year?
Yes.
Yes. And I can prove it. I can prove it in many ways of this. So there is an absolute necessity for you to understand who you are and be able to flow in who you are. And that's what we've been trying to share with you in the History Maker Institute. Everybody has to know that. Have you got my slides up now? Igor, you're still working on my slides?
They're open.
I beg your pardon?
They're ready.
They're ready.
Okay. Well, what's the first slide? I need to be able to see what you're saying.
The slide is showing that like you are on CNN and Sky News and everywhere.
So I can't see it.
No, you can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
The one with number 10.
No, you can just swap the camera.
Yeah, swap the camera.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Can we go back one step? Oh, okay, that's coming. Okay, where's the slide before this?
Genius in you. How to get 100% success in education, employment, and enterprise. The ultimate
Okay, that's fine. This is tricky. And try and reduce the good. Good. Okay. Who is going to be my projectionist? You will toggle between the audience and the slides. 1 minute you'll be on the slide, and the other minute you'll be on the audience.
Okay.
Which volunteer do I have? Okay, let's go back to the audience now. Good. Did you see the young lady that was standing next to Michelle Obama? Okay. If you're a lady in the house, please write this down. Omotola, O-M-O-T-O-L-A. Omotola, and the surname is Akerele. If you're a man in the house and you have a daughter, or you have a niece, also write this down for their interest. O-M-O-T-O-L-A, Omotola Akerele. She's standing next to Michelle Obama on that slide. Look at her very well, because we are going to see a few things later. about what she was told when she was attending a secondary school in the East End of London. Because the career advisor, one of their teachers, the career advisor, advised her on what she should apply to when she's going to university and what type of university she should apply to. And the mother brought her to come and see me after she's heard the stories, just like you heard some stories about us, British, British family, mathematical family, and all sorts of things. And said, the mother said, I have not been to university before. My husband has not been to university before. Nobody in my family has gone to university before. Since you are in this line of education, please, this is my daughter. If you can guide her as you guided your daughter, then I'll be very delighted for her. And I'll be ever grateful to you. And Omotola's story became the biggest lesson education I've ever had in my life, personally. So note down Omotola and forget about what the CNN is saying there, CNN, BBC. They just say things to make the audience feel happy with themselves. To me, that's what they're doing. They say, oh, a patriarch of the world's brainiest family, a genius producing machine. They say all sorts of things just to entertain you. And you have to be very careful to draw the line between when the media is entertaining and when they are informing and when they are distorting. Distort the truth. So that when you now see the truth, you think it's a lie. And when you say the truth, when you say lie, you think it's true. Because some of us have been told by Shakespeare that some of us were born great. Some achieve greatness. Others have greatness thrust upon them. Have you heard this quote before? Is anybody there that's heard this quote before? Yes? Yes? That some, the word I want you to underline there is some are born great. Some achieve greatness. Others have greatness thrust upon them. So before you came to HMT, which of the some did you belong to? That means some people will never be great. Some people are lucky enough to be great. When you say trust upon them, some people are lucky to be great. And we believe this and we take it as gospel. Some people are born tall, others are born short, others are born average. So is also greatness. Some people are extremely great, others are mediocre, others are failures. We accept it naturally. Any one of us will have accepted that about our children, about our siblings, about our classmates. Because we have not read what happened on the 4th of July, 1776. 4th of July, 1776 said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and everyone is endowed by their creator. Have you heard this quotation before? This second quote? I'm quoting the American Constitution, the Jeffersonian Declaration on the 4th of July, 1776, that everybody is created equal. If everybody is created equal, the question I ask myself, why is it that some turn out to be really, really great and others turn out to be small? It's the belief that you have, it's the mentality, and that's the seven. I talk about 7 M's in my book, The Genius in You, and this is number 1 M, your mentality. What do you think you are? Because you, as a man thinketh, so he is. But the word tells you, as you are, so you think. There is enough evidence in the literature, psychology literature, to say that your mentality, your thinking, is what determines who you become. If you think small, you will act small. You will play small. You will die small. If you think big, you will act big. You will become big. You are focused on being big. And there is no obstacle you see that you will not turn to a stepping stone, because you are on your way to being great. You will not accept what they give you as a C. You see that as an insult to put you are your creator. This is independent evidence. This is not even, we've not gotten to the pages of biblical history yet. We're just looking at what was taught in school about greatness. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you today because you need to walk out of here seeing greatness in yourself and therefore recognizing greatness in every worker that is working for you in your industry, in your establishment. Whether they are below you or above you, you know there's greatness in them. You will then tap the greatness in them and express their greatness, and they will love you, not just as a senior member of staff, but as a mentor. They will discuss things with you that they've never discussed with anybody before. Because you had the ignition key to turn on the power in them to express themselves at a level they've never thought possible. Because you are also flowing at a level you never thought possible. Before you met me, you never thought some things were possible. As you're walking out from me, you have to know that it's possible. And the fact that you've not expressed your greatness does not mean there's no juice in the orange. It's just that it's not been expressed, or it's been suppressed, or it's been repressed. So please write down Omotola Akerele because it's quite instructive. Can we move up one slide? Or what does your new slide say? After this, please. These are my guarantees that you will get 100% transformation, not change, transformation. You will get 100% success in education, not certification. You will understand the strategies for your enterprise to be successful. You will have a blueprint for employment. You will understand what is the critical ingredient for anybody to accomplish anything and the formula for achievement, because you have a genius in you. I don't care what they told you. Why would I care what they told you? When I've already understood what made you and who made you. So you get exceeding grades. You cannot get the same grades as anybody else. Can you advance the slide for me, please? Okay. So did you see this? Are you sure of what is there? So you've seen some of the things I've told you, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's advance the slide, please. This is Anne-Marie. I wish you can copy down these web links because time is not on our side. I want you to go through the web links because this is the guinea pig of the entire experiment. This is somebody that we were able to get to express herself. The Channel 4 one, I want you to watch it later, and then the Forbes, I want you to read the Forbes one, and they clarify the issues of what they call learning deficiency. How many of you, thank you for the slide, let's move to the audience. How many of you are or have been told that you are autistic? Okay, let me see the audience now. My camera is still pointing in the wrong direction. Okay. How many of you have been told you're autistic? I was autistic. They told me I was autistic. If my mom was there, she would tell you. I was autistic. Do you understand what it means to be autistic? Yes. Some of you think it's a disease, right? Yes. If you think it's a disease, you pathologize it. You begin to seek treatment for it. If you think it is a gift, you try and find out what the person can do better than others. And then you celebrate it and the person expresses itself. If they say you are dyslexic, it's a gift. Every person tells you makes you unique is a gift. But if you read the textbook, they will say it is a disease. It is a deficiency. It is a dystrophy. It is a defect. How can Boeing make a plane and the plane won't fly? How many of you know of Boeing planes that were made by Boeing and it doesn't fly? Does anybody know that? How can Ford make a car and the car can't drive? Does anybody know that? So you think God, Mercedes will make a car that drives, that God will make a human being that can't be great? He's too busy to make a defective human being and push it to this world. You classify them as defective. The society gave them a label, and those people enjoy the label and they carry the label for life. And they live a mediocre life, believing one way or the other that they are whole. I'm not like her. Yes, you cannot be like her. You are different from her. So the next slide, you are going to see Anne-Marie's slide. I was going to play a YouTube video here. Who is the technical person? Who's on the video? Okay, who is going to volunteer to ruin their computer system before they come by going on YouTube? Okay. Okay. Anyway, let me have the audience, please.
Yeah.
You can go on the computer system and type in Imafidon, IMAFIDON, GMTV video on YouTube and play it for just 3 seconds. No, 2 minutes probably. 2 minutes on the, if you can get the video. If you play the sound, I will tell you whether it's the right video or not. So go on YouTube and type Imafidon.
We don't need to play the one on the screen? Not yet?
No, because if you click on it, your system is not hyperlinked. Is it hyperlinked? Play it on the screen if you can play the one on the screen. But I don't think it's hyperlinked. If it was me controlling, it would be hyperlinked. Okay, yes. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Go to YouTube instead of okay.
Is that it? Yeah,
And please put GMTV at the end.
GMTV.
Yeah, GMTV.
Okay.
Good.
Interview with Dr. Chris Imafidon?
No, probably play the UK-based one. Let's see.
Okay.
Good. Yes. Okay, let's stop it now. Hello? Okay, you can stop the video. You can stop the video. You can stop the video. Okay. And let me have the audience back, please. Okay. Let me have the audience back. Let's see the audience. Let's see. Okay. While we're getting on the audience, did you hear what he said? He said he was so bad, he was not allowed to come to the school on the day they were going to write the maths exam. And until he met me, he believed he was so bad. After the interview, we went backstage, and what we discussed reduced him to tears. I'm going to make sure all of you get a copy of this video. Get it and watch it, and I'll tell you why. Many people that have seen it to the very end have had their own thinking of themselves really re-examined. Because you cannot tell me that children can have such profound ability and others have zero ability. There is no evidence whatsoever. And there is no evidence whatsoever that if anybody in that room was given the same opportunity as they were given, you will not exceed, period, whatever they've accomplished. It is because we have been undersold in terms of what we can or can't do. All of us have been undersold. And if we don't understand that, we'll flow in that ignorance. We'll say, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I've never done this. I have gotten someone, and this was only 4 weeks ago, I got a lady that has never led the choir, never sang in a choir, never been to France, does not understand one word of French, to set up and conduct a choir that spoke both French and English and sang in both French and English. I'm going to get the lady to talk to you, all of you, since you're on my database and I got a list of all of you, to see that, and she will tell you that. She has a bachelor's degree in accounting. She lives in an English-speaking country. She's never lived in a French-speaking country. How can she teach another person French? And then taught French songs without notice. She didn't have 6 months to prepare. She had 3 minutes to prepare. I thought, she came for breakfast, said, those are children there. I want to teach them French and English song because I'm going to speak in another 1 hour, and you and this choir must perform. She's alive. When I'm talking about the limitless potential, what my eyes have seen, I cannot even begin to describe it. Because the first case study I was going to show you was Anne-Marie. The second case study, if you can fast file this, because I've already given you her profile. At 19, the University of Oxford said she is the youngest person. You can still go to the BBC website by now. By the way, that is, if you have any access to the internet, you can Google Anne-Marie Imafidon, BBC, youngest University of Oxford graduate. You can Google it and see whether I'm trying to make you feel happy with yourself. I'm not a motivational speaker. God forbid. I don't motivate anybody. I'm not an inspirational speaker. No, I'm not an inspirational speaker. Speaker, I'm not. And what John said, what I'm telling you now is what I have tasted, what I have felt, what I have beheld, what I know to be true. So I'm not trying to encourage you. Why would I encourage you? When I have evidence, independent evidence, by skeptics to say that this is true, that all men are created great. Forget about the Shakespearean thinking. That's thinking, stinking thinking. Because if you flow in your greatness, there's no way anybody can put you down. While at Oxford, she played netball for her college. She won the fashion parade. She won the cooking competition. This is somebody that had a double master's, or what they call a triple master's, in computational in computer science and in mathematics. They told her great-grandparents that as a woman, you cannot do maths. If you do maths, you go crazy. They manipulated my grandparent generation to say, if you're a woman, you go and learn the basics in life. When you go to the end of the chapter, do the end of chapter exercises in maths. Don't do the further ones. If you do the further, you know there are further exercises at the end of maths book. Most of you in primary school, secondary school, there's chapter, end of chapter, exercises, and then you have further exercises. The women will ask the girls, don't touch it. But when they got home, their brothers did it, and when their brothers were struggling, guess who they consulted? Can you guess? Their sisters. So their sisters helped them in doing the mathematics at home. But when they got to class, their female teacher told them, don't touch it, you'll go insane. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The damage has been done in schools, and by schools, and with schools. So please, can you advance the slide? Because I want to get on to the second case study. Because I don't have time to go through all the, yes, EIE sports. Have you seen that? Keep going. One more. Advance the slide. One more. Keep going. Sorry, one more. Keep going. These are the ones you can freeze, because this is the one I'm talking about. You see, that boy that you can see there, he is not my son. No, you need to go. Let's go back to Fabrice. Yeah. No. You have to go. Yes, I'm happy with this. Can you see that young man smiling there? Can you see his photograph with Evander Holyfield?
Yes.
P.S. Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay. His name is Fabrice. I want you to write his name down. All the men in the room must write this down. His name is Fabrice. Fabrice, F-A-B-R-I-C-E, and his surname is Muamba. Does anybody recognize his name? The men in the room? Muamba. Footballer for who? Which team?
I think he's retired now because he had an accident.
Good. Before then, what team was he playing for?
I can't remember really. No.
Okay. Yes, he played for Arsenal, you are right, he played for Arsenal. He played for the Arsenal junior team. And then he went on to Bolton. It was at Bolton that he had the injury where he was playing against Tottenham Hotspurs, right? In North London. Now, what most people don't know about him is that if you Google his name and my name, you will see this. They brought him to me as a 13-year-old, no, 12-year-old going 13. And the mother said, this boy is so playful. He doesn't like school. He doesn't like learning. He hates the English class. He hates the math class. He hates the science class. Oh, my goodness. So, because they've heard about the video that I told you to watch, that is not good for anything at all. All he knows is football, 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 football. And they brought him to me. And when he came, I said, oh, Fabrice, you like football? I said, yes. Which is your favorite team? He said, Arsenal. Who is your favorite player? He said, Patrick Vieira. Great. And by this time, the mother was getting very irritated because he was brought there so that he can be whipped out of football. And now, I'm discussing football with him. I said, okay, Arsenal has a match on Saturday. He said, yes. I said, if they play, what position would they be on the league table on Monday? He said, okay, if Arsenal wins and Liverpool loses, Arsenal will be fourth. But if Arsenal loses and or if Arsenal draws, they are going to be fifth, except Chelsea is defeated. Do you hear what he's trying to tell me? Ladies and gentlemen, that young man was doing multiple calculations in his brain to substitute win 3 points, draw 1 point, loss 0. He was doing all this calculation in his brain without a calculator and without a pen, without a piece of paper. And the mom was getting annoyed that I was still talking to this boy about football instead of telling him about maths. When I saw how irritated she was, I said, okay, Fabrice, here's a piece of paper. Please write for me. Write an essay on Patrick Vieira for me. And then took the mom aside. And the mom, as I was taking the mom aside, the mom took me aside and rebuked me and said, but this boy, I brought him here for you to teach him maths. Why are you telling him to write about football? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? When we came back, he had written a whole page on Patrick Vieira and turned the page over. Then I told him, I said, but the mom, I thought you said he doesn't like English. He said, yes. He only writes one sentence and that's the end. If you ask him to write an essay. I said, then who wrote this? The mom said, but this is football. I said, but he spelled the words. He used paragraphs. He used punctuation. He followed the laws of English language. Why are you saying that he is not a good writer? So anyway, I went to the photocopier. I brought the maths that people of his age are supposed to do. I gave it to him. I said, do this. I said, no, don't you know why my mom brought me here? I'm not good at this math. This is too hard. So I went back to the photocopier and took the cover page to be the maths that he likes, the first page to be the maths that he's supposed to do, the third page to do the maths that he liked, the easy one, and the fourth page. So I sandwiched the easy and the maths and gave it to him and said, yes, this is the type of maths I do. And walked through the maths. And when we marked it, he got 75% correct. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? He has been told in school that he's not good in the subject. I have come here to tell him that he's very good at the subject. And that he's doing a lot of calculations in his brain. I cut a long story. At the end of that year, he wrote the higher GCSE. That means 2 years ahead of his mates. I want you to go and Google his name. It's on record. He is the youngest person ever to pass a GCSE in, write it down. You must write this down. Kempscott School, Waltham Forest, London E17, Marcus Road. Type it, go and find this out. But I've not had time to tell you the truth, let alone lie. Because of his interest in football, we were able to use that. He became an English football player. He played for England under 17, England under 18, England under 20. This is the same person that they said was not good for anything except football. And then he got a scholarship. He won a scholarship to do his A-levels. The Guardian newspaper wrote that he's the most mathematical Premiership player ever. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's not related to me, by the way. He's from a totally different country. They are from the Congo. You can verify all of this, all the things I've told you now, you can verify it. Can we advance the slide? Let's look at the other case study. Are you seeing the case study now? Can anybody come and read these slides for us? This is from the University of Oxford website. Who can read the slides for me? I can read it here, but I want you to see it. Can you read it?
Yeah.
What does it say? Did you know, right?
Case study 3.
Yes. Where it says Oxford thinkers. Did you know? Can you see the photographs there?
Yes.
Are you sure you've seen the photograph?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Oxford thinkers. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
the inventor of the World Wide Web started at Oxford?
Mm-hmm.
Or the father of economics, the university has produced 26. Okay, the university has produced 26 UK prime ministers, 47 Nobel Gold Prize winners, and 9 Olympic medal winners. Oxford Thinkers Inc. Okay. I'll take it again with the microphone so those on Facebook Live can hear.
Yes.
Oxford Thinkers. Did you know that the inventor of the World Wide Web studied at Oxford? Or the father of economics, the university, or the father of economics, the university has produced 26 UK prime ministers, 47 Nobel Prize winners and 9 Olympic medal winners. Oxford thinkers include Omotola Akerele.
Okay, stop. Let me have the audience back. Please, let me have the audience back. Okay, do you understand what happened? Now remember, I told you about Omotola when I said write her name down, Omotola Akerele. I wanted you to Google it, write the name down, write my own name down. The mother told me nobody in her entire family has ever been to any university. And the career advisor told Omotola, people like you don't apply to top universities. Just go to a local university. You are lucky. You are supposed to be a laundrette attendant. You are a black girl living in a poor neighborhood. What business have you got going to a top university? This top university, by the way, last year rejected the son of the 7th Prime Minister called Tony Blair. Tony Blair's son, Ewan Blair, was rejected by Oxford the year before Omotola applied. Oxford University wrote a letter to Tony Blair saying, dear sir, we regret to inform you that your son's academic performance makes him ineligible to come into Oxford University, Magdalen College. So, on the basis of this, the teacher told Omotola, people like you cannot get into Oxford. You are not from a rich home. You are not from a very famous home. You don't even have anybody in your university that's come. So they told her you can't. And I told her, I said, don't allow the teacher of your school do for you what university are paid to do. There is somebody in Oxford paid to reject students and to accept students. Let that decision be theirs. So I persuaded and we chatted with her. And the application went in. Do you know when she was asked to come for an interview and she told the teacher just laughed. You're on something strong, you know. You want to apply to Oxford to go and read English. You don't even have an English name. Your name is Omotola Sadada Kerele. That's why I said you should write that down. Your name is not Grace or Hannah or anything near that. And you want to go and read English in a very posh university. Of course they are not going to take you. They are just trying to tease you. Do you know what happened? She didn't just get admission into Oxford, she got a scholarship. Scholarship, that means you were in the top 5 performance. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Her friends that were on the same table at her did not apply to Oxford because they were told it is too far-fetched for anybody in their secondary school to get a place at Oxford University. So it was a thing of joy for me when she got into Oxford on a scholarship. Please go and Google her name. After one term of understanding who she is, the assessment she had at Oxford, she topped the class in Oxford. Because of that, the Times newspaper of London gave her an internship. You will see that. You Google her name and find it by line. So when Oxford University now published that on the website, how do you think I felt? I felt like someone that has gone to heaven without dying. You don't understand, Robo Sharabakades. You don't understand how many destinies have been ruined. You don't understand what negative things have been spoken to people and they accepted it. Now, she didn't go to Oxford as a student. She went there and taught the class up to the extent that Oxford is bursting with her. Do you see her photograph on that slide? Yes. Next to that photograph is Adam Smith, the founder and the pioneer, the person that invented modern economics. Do you think if I dreamed in my life, I thought one of my students would be placed next to Adam Smith? Am I crazy? Did you see all the other people that lined up with Omotola? This is somebody from Hackney. I'm giving you the details. Please, go and Google them. I don't want to tell you anything. Go and find out whether these things be true. A little girl from Hackney that doesn't have anything to do with leadership is now placed alongside. When I saw that photograph, I drank water. My stomach was full for 3 days. I'm not saying I was fasting. I was so satisfied. My wife was saying, "What's your business in it?" I said, "But Dad, this is my only business on the planet. My only business on the planet is to bring out the greatness in anyone. If this is not my business, what is my business then?" For you say the stone that the builders rejected. Rejected. They said, you will be rejected. The same stone has become the head of the cornerstone. How can you persuade me that somebody that didn't go to the most expensive school, there's a school called Eaton, where they charge £35,000 every year. The students that went there did not beat Omotola in the exam. There are schools they call Chapman Ladies, where they charge £33,000 every year. Where are those ones? That is what I'm telling you. When I saw this photograph, I felt like printing it on a t-shirt I wear during the day. Put it on my pajamas, I sleep with it. To know that the eyes that I saw, I mean, little girl, to be honest with you, undeserving of such reputation. And then look at the other people, other superstars that were lined up with her. It blew my mind. When Barack Obama came to London for the G20 summit, all the heads of state were fighting to see Barack Obama, see Michelle Obama, take photograph, ask for selfie. Guess what happened? Can you advance the slide for me, please? Guess what happened between Omotola and Michelle? What happened? Have you advanced the slide?
Yes.
Touch.
Can everybody see the slide?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me say thank you. Let's go back to the audience. Can everybody see the slide?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm asking you one question. What is the chance of a girl who was born in a poor neighborhood, whose father did not go to any university, whose mother would say, oh, we are going to church? You know the aunties that say, where are the children? How can someone that makes such elementary grammatical error now go and give birth to a genius of a genius, a leader of a leader? When Michelle came to Oxford, Oxford wanted to show Michelle the best students they had. And guess who was the person they called? Omotola Akerele. They just whipped me on both sides, like whipping me. This is why I'm prepared to inject greatness in you, because I don't know where you are going to end up. People are looking for Michelle to give them autograph, to do selfie. Michelle gave her own telephone number to Omotola, and Omotola took Michelle's telephone number. You want me to say that again?
Yes.
They exchanged telephone numbers. This is the wife of the most powerful human being on the planet, talking to the least of all people, because she dared to believe that there was greatness in her and applied to Oxford. Because she dared to contradict the teacher and step forward above the parapet. Can you advance the slide, please? Let them just see how far she's gone in life. This is a little girl, very little girl. Can you see the people that are hanging out with her with Betty images?
Yes.
Can you see how dark she is?
Yes.
They have told you are too dark. They told you are too small. They told you are too short. Your complexion, your size, your height has nothing to do with the inside greatness that you have. Nothing to do with it. They're just lying to you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you move on to the next slide, you see, this was, thank you, let me have the audience. This is Sir Ben Ainsley. For those of you that are into sailing, Sir Ben Ainsley is 6 times Olympic champion. Omotola and I, a part of my birthday present, we were invited to a function where we met Sir Ben Ainsley. Did you see the photograph of Omotola and Ben Ainsley there? This is somebody that nobody expected anything from. Today, she sends me my own birthday present before my so-called biological children will live in the same house. She doesn't treat me like a teacher, she treats me like a father. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
If you allow yourself to only spread the gifts and the talents you have to your family, you will lose out. When she was getting married, she brought her fiancé to come meet me for approval. I said, why? She said, you are my dad. I told my fiancé, Adam, that you're my dad. On the day of the engagement, I was made to sit on the seat of the father of the bride. But remember, I don't know her before. Did I tell you I knew her biologically? Yes?
No.
Because she said she remembered her friends she was with in secondary school. She knows where they are today. She knows where she is today. She's a senior manager with Ascension. 7 members of the current cabinet, British cabinet, finished from the same college. She knows their telephone numbers. If I want to effect change today, I call her and she calls her colleagues. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Somebody has suppressed your greatness. Somebody has obstructed you from expressing your greatness. That somebody may be a teacher, may be a co-worker, may be a senior manager. I don't care who that person is. But you have to rediscover that and understand that the obstacle you have is a stepping stone. Can we just move on to the next one? The next one is this is the most unserious person I've met in my life. One of the most unserious boys I've met. Yeah, can you see? His name is Joshua. Can you see me and him and the mom here? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Joshua will come to class and forget his homework at home. But he will have football under his armpit like this and coming with football. Do you have children like that? Have you seen children like that? Yeah. He will forget the homework you gave him, but he will remember the football because the mother told him, no, don't worry, just go. After that, we'll go and play football. That was the bait for coming. He did the same set of exams like Amari in primary school. At 14, he got offers to go and do undergraduate studies at the age of 14. Remember, Amari got at the age of 13. Remember, Christina got at the age of 11. At the age of 11, Christina got national offer to go and study at undergraduate level. Joshua got offer at 14. At 17, he had finished his first degree with a first-class honors in mathematics, finance, and economics. So that Goldman Sachs offered him a job at the age of 14, £14,000 at the age of 14. Please write his name down, Joshua Bright. Go and Google it. Don't believe what I'm telling you now. Because greatness has to be expressed. If not, it's suppressed. Can you guess how much the mother was earning? Why Joshua was earning 40,000? Can anybody guess? Let me tell you, when I was 17, I was always asking my mother for pocket money. When Joshua was 17, he was giving pocket money to his mother. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes. So I don't know what your excuse is. I don't know what they've told you. Can we advance the slide one more? I want you to go to Queen Mary, University of London, and see what they said about Joshua. And see what they are celebrating, because if you see this, you might just think that I did a screen dump. I want you to go and verify yourself. Let me have the audience. Thank you. So you cannot say what somebody told you is what is going to determine your life. A Mercedes car cannot tell another Mercedes car how far it can go. A Volkswagen cannot tell another Volkswagen how far it can go. Why would you allow another human being tell you how far you can go? Because the photograph I'm going to show you next is Chimemela. Chimemela, does that sound German? No. Are you sure? Chimemela, that's the, can you see her on top there? Yes?
Yes.
The father is a priest. The father heard about what we have done and all this brainy thing that the media says. And said, we don't want her to be brainy, we just want her to be average. I said, I can't make anybody average. Average is middle of the road. I can't. I don't sell that product in my own supermarket. You have to be great. You can't be average. Okay, she came, she discussed with Anne-Marie, and Anne-Marie told her how she passed her high school exams while at primary school. I said, oh, can I also pass it? I said, of course you can. What subject do you want to pass? What subject do you, what is your favorite subject? She said German. Then my brain was making piang, 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 piang. Because this time, we've done it in maths, we've done it in ICT, we've done it in computing, but we haven't done it in a language. But she said she wanted to do it and I said, your interest is what I will follow. I'm cutting a long story. We follow the same principles of the 7 M's. Chimemela was going to write the German and told the school, we want to do German. The school laughed. Look at this girl. She doesn't understand German. If you understand German, you know it's very difficult. They took her to the German teacher and said, Chimemela, you've been a very good girl, and you must be smoking something very strong. We haven't even started the syllabus. You're only in year 9. You want to go and write the GCSE. He said, oh yes, because I have a friend. Her name is Anne-Marie. I have another friend, Christian. They wrote their exams at GCSE, primary school, and they passed. Teacher looked at her and said, look at you. Those are geniuses. Who are you? Has anybody ever told you that some other people can do it, but you can't do it? Pack of jokers. So the teacher said, no, forget about it. When you're old enough, you come and write it. So, and she was crying, she told me, I said, the father should go and meet them in the school and tell them he wants her to write it. The father went there, gave them a check, and said, please, I want you to write it. The school said, no. It's not about check, it's not about money. This girl does not have the required number of hours of study to write this exam, period. So the father came, didn't want to start a fight with the school, and told me, I said, oh, the school doesn't want to say that she has not completed the course of study. I said, I know that. They are afraid they will lose their money. Let me write you a check, let her write the exam. If she passes, fine. If she fails, I lose the money. Oh, the father said, no, you've already done enough for her confidence. She now loves school. No, don't spend your money. I went back to the school. And the school sat the father down and said, okay, are you German? No. Is your wife German? No. Is your mother German? No. Is your grandmother German? No. Is your wife German? Up to the 7th generation, there are no Germans. No wonder. You are foolish. You don't understand the technicality of the language. This girl will pass it, write this exam and fail. And then she will fail. And then she will hate the subject. The father said, okay, don't worry. Just put the check in. Then 2 months to the exam date, we went to ask the school for the candidate number to show whether they enrolled her. The school laughed, said, look, you can't enroll her because she hasn't done it. So, and you will lose everything. And I told the father, you know, on television, people bet on horses. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They've never seen the horse before. They saw the horse on television. They bet that this horse will win. Have you seen that on television? Yes. I told the father, I'm ready to bet that Omotola, that Chimemela will pass this German exam. I will cut a long story. August 2006, Chimemela wrote the result of the exam came out reluctantly because the school predicted she would get a U. You know, the grade system is A, star, A, B, C, D. The school said Chimemela would get a U in German. When the result came out, ladies and gentlemen, I was just praying that she should get a C. If she got a C, I'll be dancing. If she got a B, I'll be happy. She didn't get a C. She didn't get a B. She didn't get an A. She got an A star. Wow. I stopped everything I was told about education and learning. It means they deceived me all this while. How can a non-German, remember in this exam, there were girls that were German, father German, mother German. There were those that were half German, half English. How can she score the A star? 2 weeks after that, we got another letter from the exam board, AQA, saying that they looked at the 177,000 scripts in the entire country. Chimemela got the highest marks. Wow. She was invited to number 10 Downing Street because it's a routine. If you get the highest mark, you get celebrated. Do you know what happened after then? Of course, she passed the Cambridge exam. Of course, IBM then went. She now discovered herself that she's not as stupid. Up to last year, she was the senior manager of UBS in Wall Street, New York. This is somebody from Clapton, poor performing academically, whose friends are all single mothers, don't have anywhere they are going. I think about 3 weeks ago, she has just been promoted to be the vice president of Barclays Bank, London. So do you understand what I'm talking about greatness? Do you think I don't owe you any apology if I say you were born great? I don't owe you any apology. I'm just stating the barest minimum. Because what my eyes have seen, my mouth cannot describe all of it. So if you accept the mediocrity that they've given you, you will live like a mediocre, you behave like a mediocre. But if you understand that greatness is laden with obstacles, you climb from one obstacle to the other until you get to the very top. So I'm not just talking about, I've not told you about my own biological ones, because my biological ones, you already know. You already know when Amari became the youngest FT 100 manager in the UK. You already know that. You already know that Christiana's achievement at the age of 11 going to university to go and study at that. You already know that. University of Cambridge website has it. You can go and Google that. This is not, greatness is not an exclusive right of a few people. Greatness is universal. So your child that you think is not good in one subject is good in another subject. So celebrate him in that subject. Your daughter that is very weak in one subject is good in another. There's a best subject. Celebrate them. When you lift one area up, all the others will lift up. So I think my time, I've pulled further than my time. How many more minutes do I have? Who is monitoring us?
I think you spoke of 7 myths or something, sir.
Yeah, the 7 principles or the 7 steps. Yes. But how many minutes have I got? I don't want to exceed my... How many more minutes? Who is moderating? Who is keeping an eye on things?
But Busha has just stepped out, sir.
Okay, does that mean we can still out on the time?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so that is the first principle. That's the first thing you have to. If you don't get that, you will not be able to get far. Clearing your mind. Some people call it your mindset. I call it your mentality. How you think. When you've cleaned that up, you can then look for a mentor. When you have a mentor, not necessarily in your area of specialization. How many minutes have I got there?
You have till 6, so you have like 40 minutes.
How many?
40.
40 minutes?
Yes, sir.
40?
Yes.
What slide are we on? What slide number are we on?
21.
Out of how many slides?
That's 21 on the side.
Yes, well,
21.
21. How many slides remaining? PowerPoint should tell you. Out of 139 slides.
130.
Oh my goodness. You have to pray for me now. You might have to subtract the time I spent on the transferring from Skype to this. Will you give us extra time as they do in football?
You want extra time?
In football, if there's an injury, they give you injury time.
Well, it's up to them because dinner is at 6, so if they can spare 20 more minutes, then it's fine.
Yeah, as long as it takes.
Are we having dinner again today? I thought we had one yesterday. Okay. So the first step, the first one is to clear your mentality. The second one is having a great mentor. If you don't have a great mentor, if you have a weak mentor, you can never go beyond your mentor. if you are in a ministry where they've never healed any person from, where they've never raised the dead, they would never ever allow you to think you can raise the dead. If you're in a ministry that does not believe in healing, they'll never let you go for healing. If you're in a school that has not allowed children or people of a certain age to write certain exam, they will never allow you to do. Your mentor has to be the best in their area. It has to be a Michael Jordan that is looking for new boundaries to break. So your mentorship, that is second M, your mentorship has to be greater than the greatest. Because without Elijah, there will be no Elisha. Without David, there will be no Solomon. So you have to look for, you cannot accept someone that just accepts any barriers. Then you have to have a model. Anybody that has accomplished anything will operate on a model. When 2 or 3 things have happened in quick succession, you have a model there. You model your life on it. Like most of you are trying to model your life on what Pastor Sunday is doing. So you conform to it, and you then expand or differentiate or modify some areas. So if he's done it, for instance, in evangelism, you can do it in law. If anybody's done it in law, you can do it in medicine. So it's across the sector, across discipline, and you are able to accomplish that. Have you all gotten that now?
Yes.
Okay. So you've looked at your mentality, your mentorship, and the model you are working on. Then the next one is what everyone is familiar with. Is your methodology, the how of it. Everybody worries about the how. The how does not have to be in your sector. It cannot be in your sector. Remember, Omotola studied English at Oxford. Chimemela studied German. Amari studied mathematics. Can you see there are different disciplines? But there are fundamentals to them. There are running threads to them. That age is not a gender, it's not a hindrance. Gender is not a hindrance. In spite of what they've told you that you are a wife, you should be a wife and you should keep quiet as a wife. And some people, you would have heard this, they said the wives belong to the bedroom or to the other room. I had to call all my children, all my girls to say, you belong to the boardroom. I'm part-time to the bedroom. You are not just an agent of procreation. You are an agent to rule the kingdoms. You cannot allow somebody to put you and pigeonhole you into one room. Because one room cannot contain your greatness. It cannot contain the beauty that is deposited in you. If they try to hide it, it will blow up. So allowing stereotypes to define you is the biggest evil you can walk through. So your methodology is going to be different. And then your modality is going to be different. Right? I hope you're writing all of them down now. And then the exploding of the myths. And then the last one is music. I wish I had time because when we did this for China, we start 9 a.m. in the morning and we don't finish 9 p.m. in the evening. When we take step by step, we deconstruct. Because you have an impression in your brain of what greatness is. We completely deconstruct it and turn it around and reorientate you. And you leave this place looking for a lion to slay. You're looking for a giant to just take on. Because you know there are no giants now that can stand in your way. They've stood in your way for long enough, you want to take them down. And until you take them down, you're not going anywhere. So you're so laser focused on realizing who is in you. Because I would have given you the let's see whether we can get to that slide. Yeah, let's see what I would have given you some specific things to do. Let's move on to the slides, please. Let's see how far we can go. Oh, what slide are you now?
22 should be.
No, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Keep going back. Okay, click on, no. We've gone past that. Okay, click on the one with Nick. Okay. Can you see that young man? If you're a gentleman in the house, can you make sure you get your hanky with you? Case study number 5, Nick. I'm sure most of you know Nick. You've heard about Nick? If you phone my son's telephone now, the WhatsApp image, the profile image, is Nick and him, Nick and Peter, right? Nick came to meet me and said, I heard you are very mathematical. I was laughing because he believed what the media says. I was laughing. I said, why are you saying that? He said, he will want me to mentor him. Would I want to mentor him? I said, it's a lot of work. He said, yes, he doesn't mind. Okay, cutting a long story. Nick, at the age of 17, 17, can you write that down? 17. At the age of 17, using the mathematical algorithm, I will probably have time to discuss with you later, wrote one app on a mobile phone, one app. That app sold for $30 million. Wow. $30 million. I want you to take the link. I don't want you to believe what I'm trying to tell you. 17 years of age. 17 years of age. Take this, please. I don't. This is not HMT. This is everyday life. He just concluded his degree now in Oxford. At the age of 17. So when I'm saying that if you hate technology, somebody is using it to exploit you, this is what I'm trying to tell you at the beginning. This is an app on a mobile phone. How can a 17-year-old sit down and start developing applications? Yahoo wants to make him one of their directors so that they can use more of his logical thinking. You were excited when I said Joshua at 17 was earning 40,000, but this is Nick at 17. There is nothing that you can accomplish. If you have the right mentorship, there's nothing, of course, there's nothing you can accomplish. Come on, you can put a man on the moon on your mobile phone. The mobile phone you have now in front of you, I can walk you through it, it will put a man on the moon. I can walk through your mobile phone, it will direct the aircraft you are entering to a new location. That means you can take control of the aircraft you have. There's an app I can tell you to go and get now. You download it to your phone, it will tell you all the aeroplanes flying overhead, over your head, anywhere in the world. One app. It will locate the aeroplanes. I'm not saying just locate the airport. It will tell you which aeroplane is flying. So, are you an excusiologist when you say that you cannot be great? Are you looking for excuses? Or are you looking for reasons why you must be great? Because that's what some of us do. We just know, no, it's not. Because these are case studies. I didn't study them in pages. I know these people face to face. The photograph you are looking at now was taken between Nick and I at Buckingham Palace. Look, can you see Nick and myself? Yes? That photograph was taken inside Buckingham Palace because Her Majesty the Queen hosted us, technologists, entrepreneurs, inside Buckingham Palace. Because they used to teach you, and I think Pastor Sunday said that, see that a man diligent in his business will stand before kings and not before men. And you think that is a saying? You think that Joseph was invited by the king to come and interpret dreams? You think that is a feeble story? You think Daniel was invited by the king to come and help interpret and help the country? You think that was a dream? No, I sat in my house. I was minding my own business when the letter came from Her Majesty to my house. I sat in my house when the Prime Minister came and said, can you go and get that man for me? So as soon as you express your greatness, there are ripple effects and there are consequences. And these consequences will feed even more into what you thought was a biblical saying. That I have more knowledge than all my teachers because I follow thy precepts. You say, oh, maybe that is no, how can you have more knowledge than all your teachers? Ivan, the gentleman, because of time, I'm rushing this thing. You know Ivan? You know Chimamela's slide? Had a young man below it as Ivan. Can we go back one slide? Let me show them Ivan. Okay. You see that Ivan boy? He passed his GCSE year 4. Thank you. Ivan was told by the teachers that he is disruptive. They wanted to expel him from the school because he will go under the table while others are sitting and doing some work. He will climb and will throw paper at the teacher because he was very disruptive. When the parents brought him to me, we assessed him and said, this boy has greatness. They said, no. We just want it to be normal. Don't tell this greatness idea. Don't, please, keep it to yourself. I said, but he has greatness. So we encourage Ivan. And Ivan sat his maths, high school maths, at the age 8, going 9. And when he passed, he got scholarship worth £130,000. The teachers that were going to expel him before, let me tell you what they did. They now found out that the maths he knew was better than everybody in the entire school. So the board of Roger Asham Primary School in Walthamstow, write this down, please, I'm begging you. Write it down, please. Don't say I told you. Write it down, go and investigate. Roger Asham Primary School, Walthamstow. They had to set a special budget for him because all the books in his primary school, he had solved all the mathematical problems. He knew that all the teachers in the school, they had to take him to a high school, the next high school. So the head teacher has to put Ivan in the back of her car. This is the head teacher that wanted to expel him 9 months ago. Put him and drive him to the nearest secondary school. And Ivan will sit with people that are 4 times, 3 times, 2 times that are supposed to be interacting with him. And when they will interact with him, they couldn't believe it. So did he know more than all the teachers in the school? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Yes. Because some of you have believed that scripture that is a saying, is a metaphor, is a simile. You don't believe it's physically possible for you to know more than all your teachers. Because you haven't applied yourself in the understanding of this. Write his name down, Ivan Bombo. Please go and Google it. Because I'm really not interested in starting a theological argument. No, I don't want a debate. Why do I need to debate? I do like Elijah, I do a demonstration. Let the God that answered by fire be God. You call your God and see what happens. You use your learning technology and I use my learning technology and see which one is going to dwarf the other one. Why should I be debating what is easily provable? All we need is one academic year, and I will prove everything in your own house. I'm not saying my house. You bring your nieces, your nephews, your children, you borrow them, your godchildren, you borrow them. And if you implement this principle in their life, if they do not transform to be people that are pursued by the top universities in whatever they want to study, and if they continue the same principle, in professional life, they will dwarf everything. In business life, they will dwarf everything. Because it works and it works all the time. Please advance to the slide of Nick again. Let's go back to Nick. Because it winds me up when I see people that, oh, if it's God's will for me to prosper, I will prosper. Who told you that lie? If it's God's will. I'm telling you the truth. We were created in his image. So it's not if. You have your niche. It's not if. You dominate your niche. It's not if. The if is for people that don't know. I already know. So if I know, why am I going to waste my time ifing? I won't if. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. I was teasing you about Twitter earlier on. Is that Dark Joxy? Can you see the photograph there? Yes? Is that Jack, case study 6? What case study do you have now? 6. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And next to that is Bloomberg. Okay, let's come down. Let's go to the audience now.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, of course you can, of course.
Yes. The student wants to know if the student wants to know if it's okay to send them your presentation, or they should just be taking pictures from the screen.
Well, let me see you. Let me see. Thank you for asking. Well, let me see who is asking for it. Let me see who's asking for it. No, who started it?
It's me. I'm the coordinator.
Are you a student?
Well, I'm coordinating the training, so I think I'm part of the class.
A simple question. Are you one of the students?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you want the slides?
To study it later on.
Okay. Of course, because I'm not interested in anything except you realizing your greatness. The only reason why I block my time to talk to you is because I want to use you as a testimony in another year or two to say that I didn't even see you. I physically sat in the comfort of one chair 1,000 miles away, and then you sat in your place. I never even touched you. I never blew on you. I just spoke the simple truth, and that truth caught fire and extinguished mediocrity and brought greatness in you. That is my number one desire. And the reason I wanted to reward the person that asked for it is to invite you on the 18th and the 19th of November, which is about a week or so from now, to a special event in the shadow of Her Majesty the Queen of England's house for a special reception. If you told me it was one student that was so excited that we may not finish everything and they wanted to come, I would have invited them to that event, and another event on the 28th of November, the first time in 800 years, Oxford University is honoring a black person with a painting. I will have invited you to both of them. Anyway, I'll still send the invitation and links to both of you, to the event, to everyone there that is free enough to attend the event, either in London near Her Majesty's, in the shadow of Her Majesty's house, because Marina is doing that, and invite you to the 28th of November to Oxford for the unveiling. Because you shall know the truth, and the truth will confer on you boundless freedom from mediocrity. Not you shall have deliverance. You have to understand that, because it's the truth that gives you freedom. It's not a physical laying on of hands, because I'm so pleased I have not seen you now. If I was in the same room, you say, oh, it's an anointing rub off on it. No, this is not anointing. This is the word. It sets you free. And it breaks the chains of mediocrity and allows you to flow in levels that you could never imagine. So I'm going to a coordinator. Where's anti-coordinator? I'm going to share with you a link on my Facebook messenger, and then you can share with everybody about the 18th and the 19th, and then later I can see how many people we can get down to Oxford for the 28th of November.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And if you are still alive, in January, in January, I think the second or third week of January, in London, it's very cold. If you can stomach the heat, you will come for another event that will make you almost shoot down your teachers that taught you in school. But if you're a parent, you will be glad that your children will not go through the same pain.
Okay, thank you, sir.
That would deconstruct, again, that will demolish everything you thought you knew about learning and how best to learn. Thank you. Thank you.
How do you get your children or grandchildren to do EIE?
I beg your pardon?
How do you get your children or your grandchildren to do EIE, your program?
Oh, if you go on the website, there's what is called free subscription. You can easily subscribe. And then if you're in the UK, you'll be invited to register. You can click on register online. And once you register online, they are going to tell you normally that it's oversubscribed. The first subscription we are taking now is 2019. Wow. That's the waiting list. But if you say, put in there you're from HMT, and reference Dr. Adelaja on your form, it will be sent to me personally. Or once you send it, follow it with a Facebook message. How old are your grandchildren?
7 and 9.
I'm 3.
And 14.
You are not in London, you are in Germany.
Yeah, I'm in Germany. Is it not possible?
No, don't
What did he say?
Don't play. 3-year-old, 7.
What did he say about Germany?
I have 3 children in Germany, and my daughter watched UT, the teenage.
Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch?
Yes, yeah, ich spreche Deutsch.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so she wants to get connected also because she also wants to study in Oxford, so she needs help.
Yeah, she can study in Oxford or study in Heidelberg. You know Heidelberg?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was a visiting professor to Heidelberg for a while.
Okay.
So, yeah, seriously, I'm interested. If you want to get the best, in the easiest way, is get all your children to play at least 2 instruments. The piano would be a great one to start with, or a keyboard, or a toy keyboard. But it doesn't matter what instruments they play. Please, if you want their mental development to be optimum, you must enhance their learning with music. They should sing in the junior choir. They should sing. Even if they told you you don't have a good voice, tell them you are allowed to make a joyful noise. All right? Because they don't know what they're talking about. If they say you don't have a great voice, it means they don't know what they're talking about. Because with practice, you can do quite a lot more. Okay. Does anybody does anybody have any more questions? If you have any practical questions, I'm free. I'm happy. I can stop at any time. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask, this one is regarding an adult who is 28 years old, been trying to go to medical school and doing all the exams, but couldn't pass the exams, and he was stuck because he said that is all I want to do in life, and he didn't want to do any other thing. I don't know if that can, if there's any way I can get help for him.
Is she on Skype?
He is on Skype, yes.
Is it he?
Yes, sir.
Does he play any instruments?
He's been playing instruments since age 2. He's a drummer.
Oh my goodness.
And he posted it on Facebook and everything every Sunday.
Wow. So has he done any courses? Has he done any undergraduate course? Or
Yes, I graduated in biology. Yes, I in biology.
I would like to discuss with him and really find out what his strength is. Does he speak German?
No, English.
I beg your pardon?
English.
And he wants to study medicine.
Yes, sir.
Where is the man from Germany?
I think he stepped out.
Okay. Are you allowed to take his number and details?
Yes, you can give him.
To take.
Ernest.
Oh, yes, sir. I can.
Okay, he may have the answer to your question.
He's back.
He's back.
Okay. How old is your son, sir?
My
Or
son,
your daughter?
my first daughter is 14, the second is 11, and my son is 9.
Are you having any more?
No, I don't want any more.
What did you say?
Not anymore.
I'm okay
You
with
need
it.
a minimum of 5. You have 2, you need 2 more.
No, I'm sorry.
To have a quiver that is full. And seriously, he can help you if he introduces your son to any of the children that is age 3, 4, or 5. And we can organize German conversations for him, because I can get him into the medical school in Germany for free.
Okay.
He can study medicine in Germany for free, 100%.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
But I want him to be able to
All right.
So if it's shown such commitment, then we can certainly work on that.
Yes, sir, but I live in United States.
So what? So what?
So the issue is how they are going to connect, but I don't know if they can connect on Skype.
There's no issue at all.
Oh.
If you believe in technology and use technology, we can use Google Hangout, we can use Facebook Live. There are many things we can do. And he can visit, he can come to Europe and do a spell. But he doesn't need to. If he doesn't want to.
He can, because it's like practically doing nothing right now. Because
He shouldn't be doing nothing. He should enroll on a college program. Has he done any college programs?
no.
Okay, I need to talk to him. He should enroll on a college. Which part of the states are you? West Coast or East Coast or Midwest?
We live in New Jersey.
New Jersey, oh, that's easy. Man, that's the easiest thing you can have.
Okay. Okay, sir. I can have
We
him.
have more colleges in the East Coast than in the West Coast. So I'll chat with him and see how we can do some part-time college courses while working as a physician or physician assistant. He wants to read medicine, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so he work in the healthcare delivery system and he will study part-time and then pick up language with it. If he has the determination that you were describing to me, he is no problem at all. He can still read medicine, doesn't matter.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Any other practical question?
Hello. I noticed that you cater towards kids, young people, and you help them realize their greatness. Do you have anything for adults, 50 plus?
Did I tell you that my mother was watching us on Facebook?
Yeah. No, but you've only spoken about one person, your mother.
Okay, let me tell you about Professor William Maxwell.
Okay.
Write this down. Professor William Maxwell. William Maxwell. You Google it after this class.
Okay.
William Maxwell, and they also have William Maxwell, Chris Imafidon.
Okay.
He is the professor that taught Barack Obama. You know Barack Obama?
Yes.
His professors were this man's students.
Right.
He's been teaching, he's been university lecturer since 1954.
Okay. Whoa.
Did you listen? Did you hear those two facts?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
His book has been compulsory reading at Harvard University for 30 years. When I sent, he's one of my mentors, right? He's one of my mentors.
Okay.
I called my father. When I send an email out this evening about this class, guess who's going to be the first person to reply?
He is?
Yes. How old do you think he is? If he was the professor that taught Barack Obama, how old do you think he is?
94.
Yes, in his 90s.
Wow. Wow.
You're using age as an excuse. There's what is called neuroplasticity. That is the brain says, go and look at the principle of neuroplasticity. Please write this down. Neuroplasticity.
Okay.
That's to be plastic, neuroplasticity. The theory is problem. The phone that if you have a grandmother or a mother, the phone she's using now, was it the same phone she was using 5 years ago?
No.
Who taught her how to use a new phone?
Well, I got one of her grandkids to teach her.
Did you send her on a course on how to use a new phone?
No.
So how did she extend her knowledge?
Through a grandson?
Learning starts at birth and ends at death. So please don't tell me somebody is too old or somebody is too young to learn anything. It's an excuse. Oh, sorry, was that your question or am I answering your own question?
No, I don't think you've answered my question.
No, ask your question again,
Okay, I said I noticed that you offer tuition to young children.
What's happening to your voice? Your voice is going up and down.
Okay, I said I noticed.
Can you repeat? Can the coordinator repeat that question, please?
Okay. What's the question? What's the question?
I noticed that I noticed that he teaches young children. Does he have anything for adults?
Okay, she said that she noticed that you teaches young children. She's asking if you have anything for the adult, any program.
I do not teach young children. I mentor them, 1, 2. Every parent that has their child on our system has to go on training courses. If not, you will say, oh, this child is too small, he can't do this, or it's too tall, he can't do this, or too, no. Your orientation has to be aligned positively. I have somebody that was a teaching assistant for almost 30 years because she was told she can't do maths. Her daughter is 16. She accepted her lot as a teaching assistant. Let me explain to you. If you don't have your maths qualification, you are paid half the salary. But you do the full work of a teacher. So when she told me, she said, no, she's too late, she's too old for such things. I said, are you sure you're too old to learn? Say, yes, she's too old to learn. She got the book written by Samantha, 6 years old. Christiana, 9 years old. And I'm married 10 years old. When they passed the GCSE at a very young age, people say, how did you do it? So they put their notes together and published it as a book called the Mathematics Manual. You can go and Google it. Again, it's on the website. Mathematics Manual for students by students. You know, when a 6-year-old is explaining something to another 6-year-old, it's simpler. You know that. All of you in that class now, you will learn from each other more than you learn from me. Because the teacher uses big words and your peers uses small words and get the principles across. This woman, whose daughter is 16, read the book by a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 10-year-old, and wrote the GCSE mathematics exam. And she got the highest grade. And she wept because for over 25 years, she has worked as a teaching assistant because she could not pass maths. And now that she's passed maths, she now becomes a teacher and her salary has doubled. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
It's the blockage in that brain that I'm interested in knocking down. And it's regardless of your age. That's why I said all of you can learn a different language in 5 days. All of you. I know your ages. I don't care what your age is. Has nothing to do with age. It has to do with realizing that you are a learning machine. Realizing that there are no obstacles, but stepping stones. Is that full realization? So age is no barrier. Age is no problem.
Thank you.
Okay. More questions, please. Ask really difficult questions. Don't ask easy questions.
Okay, thank you. I want to learn another language. What should determine which language to learn? I'm not sure.
Coordinator, can you repeat what you said? Because I didn't hear. It's breaking in and out. You say which language, right?
He wants to learn another language. He's asking what would determine what would determine him knowing how to learn another language. Or which language to learn.
Which language do you want to learn? Why are you asking which language? Every language is easy. Is that all? Is that all?
Is that all? He's asking you.
What did you say?
Yes, that's all. He's
okay.
Determine yes. He said either French or German or Spanish.
Okay.
One.
Okay. I can, a coordinator.
Yes, sir.
I can send him a chorus now called DADA.
Okay.
Right? I will send it to you. Please remind me what I'm publishing so I can send them a link. He will listen to it this evening for only 3 minutes. And tomorrow morning he will listen to it again. DADA. Right?
Okay.
It's a worthy. DADA. Is anybody French? Is there a French person there?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful, you'll be hiding. Okay. That is going to be the song we'll sing out with, right? I'm going to send it to you before the end of this, the NDA, because I never knew that God was French. This song, you can only sing it in Paris or Marseille or Montpellier. Have you been to Montpellier? In south of France?
Montpellier, yes, of course.
You've been to Montpellier? Yeah, you're a good man. Tell them they are not going to die until they come to Montpellier. Tell everybody there. Because it's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
In Montpellier, there's a song we sing. And I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it out today. So to all everybody here, a simple reading of how it is that you can transfer your sound from one language to the other. Language is about sound production. It's not about letters. So if you want to learn a new language, I should look at your lips, how they move, look at your tongue. I shouldn't look at the book. If I look at the book, I will not be able to reproduce the sound. And there are sound repertoires that are stored in us. And that's why you can switch it and through your tongue. So thank you for being there. We're going to make sure that we play for everyone. So please tell me don't be theoretical. Do you want to learn one language? You want to learn Mandarin because you want to go and do business in China? Or do you believe that God is sending you to Greece right now to go and save the Greek civilization and will teach you Greek? Once you give me the reason why you want to learn a language, we can clean it up. You have to have a motivation. If you follow the Spanish league table, you will understand some Spanish words already. You don't need a dictionary. Dictionary was printed by the devil in hell to stop you from learning a new language. I know that. Because your first language, you didn't have a dictionary. So why the hell? Why are you worrying about the dictionary? So we're going to do that. All right? While we're talking about that, yes, go ahead. Who has another question?
Yes. The question I have for you is, I have a son who is 18 years old, but we live in Canada, and he's hesitating what to study for university. So I would like to know if you have any kind of mentoring program to help him out to define what is going to be his vocation and how to improve whether to be great or to show his greatness.
Okay, the coordinator, you have to translate because I'm hearing every other word. Yeah. Hello?
It's coming.
Hello?
Hello, yes, I'm here, sir.
Yeah, what question did they ask, please?
He said his son is 18 years old and he's finding it difficult to know what to study. Yeah, he's finding it difficult to know what to study.
His son is 18 years old and doesn't know what to study?
Yeah, he's from Canada.
Okay, can you tell me, please, what the son wanted to study when he was 6 years old?
You should tell him what your son wanted to study when he was 6 years old.
He wanted to become a football soccer player like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Good. It can still be it. So what is the inhibition about achieving that?
What is it? What?
Why doesn't he want to do that now?
Well, he's thinking in different options, like becoming a business person or accountant.
You are breaking up. Can you can you stop the microphone? Do you have a better microphone? I'm hearing one other word. Okay.
Is why did he change his mind from being a footballer to wanting to study another thing?
Sorry, what did you say?
He doesn't know what happened. Why
No, bring him back. I know what happened. Of course, I know what happened. Because he wanted to be something, and somebody told him he can't be it, and somebody told him it was difficult, and then he tried to switch. Okay, when he was 13, what did he want to be?
Well, he has been changing from becoming a chef, a football soccer player, accountant, business person, all of those things.
Okay, we are going to agree between me and you. we are going to arrange an internship for him. That means he will go and spend 1 week in a chef during the holiday and spend 1 weekend with an accountant and spend a few days, just even if he means making tea or making coffee in the accountant. Yes. All the various professions he's wanted to be, he will go and taste it again now, and then he will come back and tell us the one that he's passionate about, the one he really, really wants to be. And not the one you want him to be, or the one that the mother wants him to be, or the one that the friends, the one he really wants to be. That's my number one question to him. Because once I know his passion, that's the end.
Okay.
It can be it. There's a test that Professor Maxwell did in terms of identification of talents. He can also do that test as well. But there was no better test. Okay, now tell me, what does he like best in his house now? You know, sometimes he's watching television. What television program does he like best? If you give him the remote control now, what channel will he want to watch?
Okay. Well, I don't know. But I don't know. I have no idea.
No, of course. Do you live in the same house with him?
Yeah.
Okay. What did he ask you for his last birthday present? When you ask him, the birthday is coming, what do you want me to buy? What did he say he wanted for his birthday present?
Okay, well, I will ask him, but he's not with me now.
No. His last birthday. What birthday did you buy for him? What present did you buy for him?
I don't get it.
The last birthday. What was the gift you bought him? What do you want?
That he asked for?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, he asked for a soccer player, custom, jersey. Yeah, the football.
He asked for what?
For a football soccer jumpsuit.
Then what team was it?
Hmm?
What team? What football team?
Real Madrid.
Okay. Now he needs to tell me what Real Madrid needs to do to win back the Premiership. Tell him to write me an email. You will give it to the organizers. Okay. Your son needs to tell me what Real Madrid must do to win the Premiership, to come back to lead again.
Okay.
Okay? And when he writes that, I will communicate with him because I want to see his strategic thinking.
All right.
That's why I'm looking at his reasoning. This is what they call psychometric test.
Okay.
So it's not about football, it's not about Real Madrid, it's about his thinking. Like he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So we'll assess his thinking, right?
I got it.
And then I will find out what position would you like to play if he's given the opportunity for Real Madrid. Whether be attacker, middleman, midfielder, defender, or goalkeeper.
Okay.
Again, I'm tracing his personality from there.
Okay.
Because the more I assess him, the more he tells me. Okay, and then I will ask him if he was going to, if I gave him $1, last dollar of his life, what will he spend it on?
Okay.
That will tell me his priority. Right? And then if it's going to be one person in life, who will that person be? Who would he like to be like in life? Messi or someone, one person in life, only one person. And then he will tell me why. Because he's telling me that person is his life model. He's the person he wants to be like.
Okay.
And then we'll find out which training did that person get. Why does it, which qualities in that person is making him think, oh, I want to be like him. And from there we can marry his interests with his future and he will enjoy life.
Okay.
If you want him to be an engineer and the other person wants him to be a doctor, a teacher says, no, you can't be this. Then you're sending mixed messages to him. He doesn't have focus, he doesn't have clarity.
Okay.
And God is not the author of confusion.
Okay, now.
So please, I've given him work to do. You give the work to him. If he doesn't write it, I will call Pastor Sunday to call you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other questions?
Yes.
Sorry, I have 3 questions.
Okay.
I have a nephew that is very good at soccer, and his parents are really encouraging him because they see that he has the potential. So what advice would you give them as parents to be able to help him in that area? That's one. I have also another nephew that wants to go to Oxford, He's very good in Canada. He's very good in school, and that has been his dream since he was a child. And then the third one is, what advice would you give to pastors, not just to limit themselves to just the pulpit? Those are my questions.
Okay, I'll start with the last. Even a pastor, how many books have you written?
Me, personally?
Yes.
Not one yet. But I've
How long have you been a pastor for?
10 years.
How many?
10.
How many?
10.
Oh my goodness. 10.
Yes.
Okay, so you're owing me 20 books. Have you heard about a disciple called Bartholomew? Bartholomew.
Yes.
Do you know anything about him?
No, not really.
Yeah. But have you heard about Paul? St. Paul?
Yes.
Do you know anything about him?
Yes.
Okay. That answers all my questions.
Okay.
If God gave you one message on a Sunday to your congregation, prove to me that that message is not going to impact somebody in Australia, in New Zealand, in Newfoundland, in Quebec, in Africa. Prove to me that that message was local. So every single human being that heard that message in your congregation, you're going to get them to write 10 things you learned in your sermons down, and that is the outline of your first book.
Okay.
The next sermon you're going to preach.
Yes, sir.
Because your message is never local, it's always global.
Yes.
On the 18th and the 19th of November, if you can come to London, come. If you can't, follow it on Facebook Live.
Okay.
One of the things I'm going to do is launch one of my books, and then talk to people about that.
Yes.
If you can get 12 pastors in your city, we can arrange a boot camp for all of you to show all of you how you have lost on the average of $2 million every year for not putting your thoughts to paper. That's the sales you can get from your book.
Yes.
If you deploy it on Amazon alone, you don't even need to go in the church, just deploy it on Amazon and create space. And address a topical issue. What country are you pastoring in?
Right now, I'm in Canada, but about to move to the U.S.
Great. You owe me 2 books on Trump and why he became president for now. You need to give me the spiritual insight of it. You need to demonstrate how that's going to affect the whole of the faith in that country. If you don't do it, you are denying the world the insight that God has revealed to you.
Okay.
If you can take your 1 hour, you can produce a book of 230 pages.
Yes.
So you better think of being the best-selling author before the end of this year. I'm not saying 2 years time. Before, I know we're in November. It doesn't take more than 1 month to talk to people that have benefited from your teaching and ask them what did they benefit, and then we'll expand on that and publish it.
Okay, sir.
It is very, very expensive for you not to document your thoughts and the revelations that you have. Very expensive.
Yes.
As far as you're asking the same question 3 times for the soccer player, one simple thing you do, he reads books about soccer players. He writes books about soccer players. He visits soccer players. He knows the chemistry of soccer play. Anyone that injures themselves playing soccer, he finds out the pathology of it. If you know one thing, you've known everything. Because you can use that to spread everything. And then he will now see who is the biggest soccer player of all time. And if you read his autobiography, not biography, autobiography, and hear the voice from that person, and the person will learn from it. That's the end of one thing I was talking about. If the person is still alive, you can write an email and say, I read your book, I was inspired by your word, I watched your video films, this is what I now do that I didn't do before because of you. You are in effect asking the person to be a mentor. Okay. So whichever sport they choose is the same form, the same principle. You follow the person on Twitter, follow the person on Facebook, follow the person on Instagram, find out what the person does and what's on the person's mind, and interact with it. Okay. So that's essentially what I'll say to you. Yeah. And if you follow me on Facebook, I give from time to time such talks and seminars. Okay. For free on Facebook.
Okay.
So did I answer I combined them into one question because the other one was repetitive.
The other one is my nephew that wants to go to Oxford. He's 16 years old right now.
How many instruments do they play? Do they sing?
He plays one.
Does he sing?
Does he? Not really, no.
Okay. Make him the head chorister of your church.
Okay.
Every Sunday, he must sing from hymn sheets and sing musically and read musical notes.
Okay.
And when he turns 17, do a YouTube video of him singing for me.
Okay.
And we'll see how we can plug into the choral scholarship of Oxford University, regardless of what we want to study.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Professor.
Hello, I love your energy.
Thank you. Please, I have a quick one, and it's for myself. I want to do a PhD, and I want an accelerated one on scholarship. How do I go about it?
It's very easy. You already started it. Why do you want a PhD?
It has always been my desire to do one.
Okay, after getting a PhD, what do you want to do? Do you want to go into research? Do you want to go into teaching? Do you want to go into a professional life? And what area are you thinking of a PhD in?
I'm thinking about something to do with technology and media.
Okay, yeah. That's serious. That's easy. Yeah. That's easy. Yes. Okay, that's so easy for me. I mean, it's like you're giving me breakfast. And because the leading book on marketing, okay. I wrote a chapter on social media. And old media. Okay. So you can Google my name and type marketing and social media. You see some of my thoughts I already published. I think that was about 4 or 5 years ago. Okay. Okay. And then when you get a PhD to become what? What do you want to do next?
Yes. The aim is to go into industrialization and innovation.
Good. So you want to use as tools to extend it?
Yes.
For which nations or nations?
Africa.
Okay.
Yes. Though I currently live in Ireland.
Okay, that's fine. No matter. You can still do it. Okay. You can still do it. Africa has the highest number of tele-density in the whole world. So if you look at technology and media, you can easily customize it for an African environment. Okay. So what you now need to do is demonstrate your passion for the subject by publishing your current thoughts on either LinkedIn or similar professional bodies. Or some similar professional social media. And since you're thinking of social media, how many platforms are you on in social media?
I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on.
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, you got a YouTube channel, right?
I have it. I've opened it. I'm yet to load things on it.
Oh, yeah, you yet to upload something to it, so that'll be fine. I don't see any problems in that. Have you attended any PhD seminars or PhD introductory seminars? You said you want to do it in Oxford?
And I'm open to, what I said, I wanted something that was accelerated and on scholarship.
Okay. Even with my daughter, I would delete the first two and look for the location. Okay. I want to do it in Caltech, okay. Or I want to do it in UCLA, or I want to do it in Harvard. Because where you do it is more important than what you do it on.
Okay, what would you advise, please? I'm actually open. Yeah, I'm close to UK, so I'm open to.
I will type in PhD thesis, okay. Oxford, and the keywords of what you want to study. Okay. And so you'll be able to download about 4 or 5 PhD different studies recently. I will do the same for Harvard. I'll do the same for Cambridge, and I'll do the same for Caltech. Okay. And on the basis of how those ones turn out, I'll come up with a short list, one on either side of the Atlantic, right. And then start publishing on it, start discussing it. Okay. From there, you can refine your choices to either Oxford, Cambridge, or Harvard or Yale. Okay. To me, there's no much difference. Except that Oxford has a Christian spin to it. All right, Oxford has a much more Christian spin than most of the others. Okay. But it's intensive. It's intensive.
All right. I can prepare for that. And then finally, I have one question. I have a daughter that was diagnosed with autism, but she has speech.
Wow!
Yes, I've written you about it before. She has speech now, and her motor skills are excellent. She's currently 13, and I'm grooming her to do a university course. I need kind of advice on how to go about it.
What are you doing next November? There's a November event, there's a June event. You need to follow me on Facebook.
I do.
And ask for the autism seminar in the Excel in London.
Okay.
It's a useful thing for you to attend and see, and then you can start a local autism support group in your town or your city. Have a Facebook page for parents of autistic children. I will support you. I will do anything that will help you because it is a very misunderstood condition. It is a condition, it's not a disease. There's a big difference between a condition and a disease.
I know.
So please, can you hold that for me and say that you saw an autistic, very autistic person, and look at what the Lord did.
Amen.
And give her my profile. Make sure that she reads about me, so that she understands that autism is a gift. We must make that clear to her, because everyone will tell her that it's a disease, because they are crazy. All right? The only reason why I say autism is because they are crazy. It's only a crazy person that says that.
No, we've worked that out. I know better.
Okay. So she's not going to catch up and overtake. She'll pursue, overtake, and recover the years that the locust and the cankerworm and the palmerworm has eaten in a so-called in a short life. All right? Is she doing sports?
Yes, she's sprints.
Is she musical?
Yes, she's very, very musical.
That's right. And tell everybody what music does to autism, please. Tell everybody in the room.
It helped her with her speech. It helped her with therapy, calming down, and kind of the list goes on and on and on and on.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please, can we put our hands together for her? Okay. Who's got the next question?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
You look very much like Samantha. You need to go and listen to her video. Girls want to have fun. Yeah, girls want to have fun. All right? Google it. I'm serious. Huh? Okay, sir. It said girls want to have fundamental rights. That's how I want. She should say girls want to have fun.
Okay, sir. Huh? I'll definitely Google it. So I have a question. So I've always been good in math. My dad specifically taught me, math from an early age. I didn't use calculators for like simple addition or multiplication. So when I went into college, I was ill-advised that math. The only thing that I can basically do with math is to teach. And
Jesus wept.
Yeah. So I didn't want to.
Jesus wept.
Yeah.
The only thing you can't do with math is teach, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so
Wall Street is looking for you right now, if you're a mathematician.
Wait, sorry.
Wow. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so, so I found out years later that, there were so many possibilities that I could have done with math. But instead, I was advised to do psychology and biology. So I minored in biology and I majored in psychology. So my question is, math has been my true love, but I haven't really been practicing it or, really indulging in it. So what would you advise for me to do now that, because I've graduated and I've actually gotten a job in neuromonitoring. So, but deep down I love math, but what would you advise for me to do, I guess, to get back into the field of math after a bachelor's degree?
Okay. From tonight, you moonlight as a math tutor. From tonight. And put a post out on your Facebook page that, do you have problem with maths? Are you in grades 1 to 13, right? You can take grades 1 to 13 maths?
Yes.
Okay. Are you in grades 1 to 13? Here is my number. Call me on this number and I can fix it for you. So you teach maths on a part-time basis. Evenings, weekends, that you're not working, right? Yes. The next time you see your pastor, tell him you've been wanting to tell him something for a long time, something serious. You say, what is that? Tell him you want to use maths as an evangelistic tool, that you want to book the place of worship 2 hours every week. You have Kumon. Have you heard about Kumon Mans?
No, sir.
Okay. I will tell you more about Kumon Mans once we go off air. So you will provide supplementary mathematical tuition for boys and girls that hate maths, they don't hate maths, every week for 2 weeks, for 2 or 4 hours. You invite them to church. You will pay part of what you make as a donation to the church. They will know about the church. You can invite them for special church events. So you're doing evangelism, you're doing education, and you're fulfilling the dream. Once you've done that for a year, you can apply to be a maths teacher. So you can get a college credit to certify you as a maths teacher. And from there, you can come back into mainstream maths and do a master's in applied mathematics, and you can go into banking. You can go into engineering. You can go into stock brokerage. You understand what I'm saying? Pick it from what you know and make money refreshing your brain about it. And then from there, you can redeploy. I can help you get on a master's program in maths.
Wow.
Once you've taken the steps between now and the next 12 months, 12 to 14 months.
Okay. Okay, sir. Can I have your contact information to keep you up to date?
You already had it. On my first slide, it gave you my Twitter handle. Did it give you my Twitter handle?
I think.
I gave you hashtag, hashtag the genius in you.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one.
And then my Twitter is at Chris Imafidon.
Okay, sir.
So please follow me on Twitter. And I think my telephone number is on the slide. And all of you are going with the slide anyway, because we cannot finish this thing today. So you're going to go on the slide, you're going to go through it, and you're going to come back to me if you have any questions with my slide.
Okay, sir. All right.
Thank you very much for your interest. And I do apologize because we don't have enough literate people to inform you or advise you. That's why you're doing psychology. Psychology. God have mercy.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, I have two questions actually. One, I have a brother. He's 13 years of age. Growing up, like he was very curious with technology. We thought he was like a genius. And he was like he studied in he took in the class. Now he's back in the UK and he's not performing as well. And I think that he's sort of like now narrowing himself. He's not performing as much as he can, so he's not studying. So my question is, what advice would you have for me to tell him to sort of like get him back to what he used to be? Because that's essentially what made him came alive. Yeah.
Where is the program coordinator? You need to say everything again that they had so that I can. Okay. Where is Igor or some? I understand that he used to be good in technology, right?
Yes.
And then he traveled to the UK, right?
No, he traveled to South Africa. He went to South Africa.
Okay, and then from South Africa?
In South Africa, he was performing very well. He used to be #1 in the class for every subject.
Mm-hmm.
And then he traveled back to the UK, and
mm-hmm.
now, I don't know, because of school, I don't know, he's not performing as well as he can be. So we've...
And how old is he now?
He's 13.
We can fix that.
Yeah, so what advice would you have for me to sort of like guide him back to his... Yeah,
where in the UK is he?
He's in Milton Keynes. We live in Milton Keynes.
You live in Milton Keynes?
Yeah.
What school is he attending in Milton Keynes?
The Hazley Academy.
That's the problem. Simple. That's the only problem he has.
Okay.
He needs to do the 13 plus and apply to Hazley, brother.
Okay.
Or Henry Floyd.
Okay.
An academy is the worst word in English language. There's nothing academic about an academy.
Wow.
It doesn't follow traditional academic subjects. And in the UK, all secondary schools are not the same. Ask them in the academy how many students have graduated and gone to Cambridge? They will tell you zero. Zero. Because it's not the path for producing academic or any form of genius.
Yeah.
It's an excellent babysitting facility.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? They babysit him. So you have to get into a selective school or a grammar school very quickly. If not, you will lose the will to live. Not just the will to learn, but the will to live. It will transform into a total monster. I know that. So you have to take him out and tell him, I thought you said you wanted to be an engineer, and see how you can arrange some form of internship for him. And then associate it with other high fly. But if you join the EIE, you may be able to get a place on the half-term revision, Easter revision. Where are you spending Christmas?
In Milton Keynes. Where am I spending Christmas? Did you say that?
Where are you spending Christmas with him?
Oh, at home.
Okay. He can no longer spend Christmas at home. During his Christmas break, he's going to do some work.
Okay.
And in January, he will write an Oxford exam. I know he's 13. Don't fall off for me. Okay. And June, he will repeat the same exam. I know he's 13. The top Oxford exam. I will wake him up. Okay. We'll clear his nostrils for him.
Please. He needs that.
All right?
Okay.
So get on the Excellence in Education website. We'll see what we can do. Okay. But you're not going on Christmas holiday, by the way. And Easter holiday is postponed until next year. Okay. So that we can clean him up. And then we'll do some grammar school exams. Okay. If it means him traveling on the train for 2 hours to get a decent school, you have to do that.
Yes, yes.
You said he's 13?
Yeah, he's 13, yeah.
He's old enough to look after himself, so don't worry about the school he gets into.
Okay. I could also relate with, because I've got another younger brother. He's 8, but he's just picked up, because I was listening to you a few months back when you were in the program with Dr. Sunday Adalija. So we've advised that he starts playing the guitar, but he hates. We've got him. They both have a private maths tutor, but the problem is that
sack the tutor now. If the tutor didn't tell you an academy was a destruction plan, sack the tutor. Okay. Do you promise to do that?
I'm going to do.
You have to look for another tutor that can give you the overall picture of the schooling system. Okay. Teaching you algebra, making you know algebra, and sending you to an academy is preparing a great meal and putting it in the bin.
Wow. Okay.
So I will pay your tutor to stay away from the children. I will pay him so that he doesn't see them again. He's contaminating them with mediocrity.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the tutor should have told you most of what I'm telling you. The tutor should have told you. If they understood the system. But if they're hiring, it's different. If you're a shepherd, you fight for your sons and your daughter, intellectual sons and daughter. That's why Omotola invited me to come to her wedding as a father. And now the in-laws think I'm a father. I'm serious. During the reception, when the father was supposed to give a speech, they made me to give the speech on behalf of the father. So if you're a tutor and you don't treat your students as your children, you're not worth even the piece of paper that the certificate gave you. Because in every degree, they tell you be found worthy in character and in learning. So there has to be a behavioral change if you're a tutor. So I'm sorry, sack the teacher if I were you.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I can relate with that because she gives him a lot of work, and as a result, he hates study now. He doesn't want to do his homework. He just tells me he hates studying. So
watch this video. If you watch the video that we couldn't finish playing, you'll see that maths is a game. Yeah. Anybody that works out of math is foolish. Math is a game of numbers. Yeah. You know the 9 times table game, right? You can do a 9 times table like this, right? Yeah. Do you know the one, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Do you know the 9 times table game? Mm-hmm. I can teach it to you now in 2 seconds. So just demonstrate to you that math is a game. Like this, look at my finger. If I drop this, there are 9 fingers, right? 9 times 1 is 9. If I drop this 1 and 8, 1, 8, 18. 9 times 2 is 18. Drop this 2, 7, 27. 3, 36. 4, can you see this? Yeah. It's a joke. You teach maths without a textbook. You teach maths without a textbook. It's a joke. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2, 1, 8, 18. 9 times 3, 2. 8, 27. 36. 45. All the way it gets to 90. I can teach you the 11 times table. You multiply 11 by 1 million, and you get it faster than a calculator.
Wow.
It's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. So I don't know why they complicate things by following the curriculum. So please, just don't destroy that life, because I know schools destroy lives and build lives. The biggest weapon of mass destruction I have seen in schools, when you psychologically destroy a mind, forget about every other aspect of that person. Just get rid of the mind. The person becomes a zombie. And that's what they do. You're not in Birmingham. If you were in Birmingham, I would have asked you to come to my school. I own a school in Birmingham. You pay absolutely nothing. It's for producing geniuses. You pay nothing for it. In Aston area. We're having one in West London. And we're having a few that we're collaborating with. But you must know this. Before you send a child to the school, find out what they want to be in life and work through that. And ignore whatever the school tells you about them. If they pick up a fight with you, just fight them. Like you know.
So, sir, would you advise for both of them to go through the your program?
11 plus. Now, has the tutor that is tutoring the 8-year-old told you about the 11 plus?
He's currently doing the 11 plus books. That's all I know.
So, is he doing the verbal and non-verbal reasoning?
Yes, he is. The 8-year-old one, yes.
Okay. What is the plot of the graph? Is it like a hill, like a river, or like a valley, or like a plateau?
Sorry?
You know the back of the book, there's a bond book you're using, right?
Yeah.
There's a bond. How does the graph go? Because at the back of the bond, you're supposed to plot the graph of each test it does. Is it like a hill? Is it like a valley? Is it like a snake? Or is it a plateau?
I think it's a hill. Yeah.
Okay.
Hill, yeah.
Then you have to switch to no nonsense. There's a no nonsense verbal. Okay. It's Smith. You can get it from W. Smith. Or you go on our website, click on it on Amazon.
Okay.
You go on the no nonsense one, and he's not playing any instruments, is he? The 8-year-old.
He's just started playing the guitar.
Why? Just starting. No, please get him to play the piano and sing in church every Sunday for the rest of his life.
Okay.
For the rest of his life, until he redeems himself.
Okay. And
all
then,
right?
and then the 13-year-old can also start as well, isn't it? Because we have a keyboard in there.
He's supposed to have started a long time ago. He has to.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more question for you, sir, if it's okay.
Okay. Make it difficult. All the ones that get getting so far, they're too easy.
Hello, sir. Thank you for all you're doing. I just wanted to ask, my daughter just finished her LPC and Masters in law, and her elective is property law. So she's got a job recently. She's looking to get her, to do her training contract.
Good.
Yeah, and then she wants to learn language, foreign language as well. So what do you advise her to do with regards to pursuing her training contract, becoming a solicitor? I'm encouraging her I'm an entrepreneur, to go into business anyway. So I don't know, I'm just trying to pick your brain and see what she can do afterwards.
Doing the solicitor training is not mutually exclusive from doing business. Okay. She will do all the conveyances in the world. You remember that, right?
Yes.
She'll clean the entire conveyancing business out. Yeah. And then she will attend seminars on property development, property, tenant law, land law, and be able to specialize in that. Okay. And open up a big practice. Okay. So I don't say anything as, of course she should go ahead and do the training she needs. Okay. She would need the training to have a competitive advantage over her own trained property developer.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I'm going to be bringing my 3-year-old daughter to you, my granddaughter, sorry, to your center for grooming her.
Where does she live?
We live in Romford.
Oh, that's local.
Yeah.
That's within striking distance.
Yes.
What birthday present did you buy your 3-year-old? The 3-year-old granddaughter or something?
Drum. Drum.
Okay, next time buy a piano.
She has a small piano as well.
Okay, so make sure they play the piano for only 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Only 5 minutes, the first thing they do when they wake up.
All right. Okay.
The first thing, can you ever listen to this? The first thing you do when you wake up, it shows priority.
Okay.
It shows creates habit and creates consistency.
Okay.
So every day she wakes up, let us play the piano. It doesn't matter. Okay. Some of it you record, others don't record.
Okay.
And every opportunity to sing, allow them to sing.
Okay.
Then allow her to get involved in sports.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. You are telling me my time is finished, right?
Yes, sir.
How many slides have we covered so far?
We are just at 23.
I beg your pardon?
23.
23 out of 139.
Yes. Wow. 100 to go. Wow. Yes.
Oh, we have to tell Pastor Elijah if we are going to have our own, we have to have our own extended. Because I'm going to test you on every slide I'm giving you. Okay. Because I don't want you to just cuddle it. I want you to take it home, call your husband if you are married, or call your wife, or call your children, or call whoever you're living with, and say, how was your week? The person said, oh, my week? I want to find out how your week was. And let them tell you what their week was. Said, oh, I missed you, but how was your week? Don't give them my slides to say, oh, do you know I'm the biggest and the baddest, I don't have the best? No. You turn them off. When they've told you what their week was, and then you say, oh, they'll ask, okay, how was your week? You say, then you can say, you don't want to know. Say, no, I want to know. Say, I met this man, this crazy guy. They said he advised presidents and monarchs, and he talks to children to be great. So who is the guy? He tells them to go and Google me. They must Google me before they come to you. And when they Google me, they're going to find out that I'm trying to extinguish the fire in a flat. All right? That's what Google tells you now. I'm doing some work on Grenfell Tower. And he asks them more questions about me before you give them any answers. If you don't, they'll think you're trying to show off. They'll say, are you sure you saw him? Where's your selfie? Prove it. Do you understand? All you fathers there, whose wife did not come, your wife is going to argue with you. Everything you tell them about me, they will say you are lying. Because they haven't seen such things before. So don't go and tell them you have seen me. That's not the first thing you tell them.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that? Yes. Love them very well and tell them, yes, it's true, you missed them. How was their week? You must find out what they did differently before you open your mouth to tell them about HMT. If not, they say they are going to brainwash you again. When really it's their brain that is dirty and is washing. Okay, so you're giving me matching others.
Yes, sir, we are working on that. For the teenage retreat, we're also working on that. So as soon as we get things set for the promo, we'll let you know. And we're also working on the January retreat as well. So and April as well. Wow. So
okay, all these adults here that are working for any corporation, can you put your hand up? Even though you are employed by a company, can you put up your hand? A company?
Working for any corporation or company, you should raise your
any corporation or company. Oh, that's good. Even though you are, I'm not looking for a corporation. No, only one. Okay, two. Okay, let me give you 2 things you must do now. If you want to get rapid promotion in your company, go and read the annual review. Find out what your companies did not do too well in. And using Google, search which other companies did very well in that area. And then blog about that area. Write a blog in LinkedIn, write a blog on Facebook about that area. Let me address that topic. I'm not saying you're going to provide the answers. Just address the topic and the correct thinking on it. And put your name on it. When your company directors Google on that topic, they will come and ask you, how did you get that insight or how did you get that information? And they will elevate you to the board if your analysis is consistent with future trends in your sector. So you then go and do a second annual review on the best player in your sector. First annual review is on your company. Second annual is the best player in your sector. And see what the sectoral leader is doing that you are not doing. And see whether you can adapt that to your company. If you do this, you become a board member. This is the shortest cut to be a board member in any big company that you work for. Because you are addressing the problem that they have. And if you talk to Nebuchadnezzar about his dream, you are his friend. If you don't, you are not his friend. Did you get that? I mean, how many of you are in enterprise? I mean, you own your own company. Can you put up your hand? Okay. What you need to know is find out who is the leader in your sector. Who is the number one company that sells your products or services in your area, in your state, or in your nation? You must know that. Get the annual review, read it, because you want to see what their challenges are and what their difficulties. Annual review, by the way, is available freely. I can get it right now. Annualreview.pdf in any of the Google search, and I'll get it. And then I want you to be a sector leader. I don't want you to be a competitor. I will show you how you can steal all your competitors' customers by going to their Facebook page, going to their Twitter page, and going to their Instagram page. So all the people that like your the company of your competitor, you can see them on Facebook, you can see them on Twitter. And then you can invite them for a Facebook event addressing the number one problem of your customers or number one problem of your clients, potential clients. And this is free. So if you're in the car industry, you talk about car insurance and how to get cheap car insurance. If you're in the health insurance, the health industry, you talk about health insurance and how to get cheap health insurance. Do you understand what I'm saying? By that, you are giving them free value information, and they will come back and ask you questions. If they ask you questions, you do a follow-up. That way, you are nurturing the needs, and you're going to steal customers from your competitors to yourself, and your business will explode. I do this, and I bet you, you grow your business 300%. We've done that all the time for people in entrepreneurship.
Please, I need to run this through you.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I have a solution for the shortage of nurses in the NHS, because I've worked in the NHS for about 27 years. But I think I have the solution for addressing shortage of nurses in the NHS. How can I go about getting this looked into?
Very easy. You do a blog.
Okay.
And the blog is Nurses in the NHS. The impact of Brexit, right? The impact of Brexit on health workers and healthcare delivery.
Right.
And then you do your paper, analyzing it, and you put it on LinkedIn. And you put it on a hot a blog post. Okay. If you have WordPress, fantastic. Okay. So that next time anybody does a search on shortage of nurses on NHS, your paper or your blog will come forward. Right, okay. Please don't make it technical. Right, make it so easy that the politician can read it and understand how to implement your ideas for the health delivery system.
Right, okay. Actually, the problem is with the training. So
I know.
Yes, it is with the training, and they've disempowered a lot of nurses. And I mean, it's probably something I wouldn't want to give the idea out so that somebody else doesn't run with it. So,
No, this is what it is. It lists the 3 biggest problems and discuss only one of it and say to be continued.
Okay, sir.
That to be continued will be with you forever.
Okay, sir.
So be able, if you think the solution is one solution, talk about the popular solution now and why the popular solution is not working, okay. And say your solution will be able to work because of this, and this, but you have not told them the solution.
Okay, sir.
You don't need to tell them the solution.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can argue with your solution and defend it.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And please make sure that all the videos I promised will send it to them. And if you can form a closed Facebook group for this HMT cohort, that would even be more fantastic. So that when they go home, they can come back and discuss that in a closed Facebook. I hope everybody here has Facebook. Yes. And then you have a closed Facebook group. And I will support you whatever and I'll pop in to answer some questions from time to time.
Okay, sir. Okay, so let's separate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Facebook viewers. See you in 20 minutes. Bye.
And don't forget about my DNDN. I'm going to send my DNDN. I've sent to you to play the video of DNDN for everybody to see.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, bye-bye.
Babu, I want those invitations. I'm going home. I'm going home. You are New York, oh.
Sviet.